Hey guys, kinggath here with another patch for Sim Settlements. This is patch 3.2.4, which I'm calling It's Just Like a Mini Mall. And in this patch, I'm introducing something I've been wanting in Sim Settlements for a long time, and that is the furniture store. This idea actually came from Kitempe. He's the creator of Awesome Town. He had mentioned it in our Discord, and I asked him if I could run with the idea, and here we are. So the idea behind the furniture store is that I thought it was kind of weird that as the player you could take like cloth and metal and build airplane seats, when it makes way more sense that you'd be kind of doing makeshift things out of raw materials. And then I wanted to take the idea a step further, which is you're not actually building things. It's actually the settlers are designing them and you're just placing them. So with that in mind, you, instead of getting the patterns, you actually buy shipments for these individual items, and then you get to place one for each that you purchase. So you can buy these items from a furniture store and place them. There's currently about 20 items in that are all custom designed by one of our modelers, Zero Big Sis. Thank you for doing that. And these can be found at various levels of the shop. So as the shop levels up, the inventory will expand and you'll have more options for custom furniture pieces you can buy. And what's really exciting about this system is that it's fully expandable. So I'm going to be updating the Builder's Toolkit this weekend with a new tutorial on how you can build custom furniture items by doing mashups within the creation kit, or if you want to build patches for existing workshop mods and make them sell their items through this vendor rather than being buildable, you'd be able to do that as well, which I think could add a new interesting way to play workshop mode where you have to buy the things that you want to build, kind of a survival hardcore mode for workshop builders. So anyway, I'm excited to see what you guys do with this in the community, and you can get access to the first furniture store on the 2x2 plot. It's called Sofa King, and it is available now. All right, guys, so let's talk about why we are in Outpost Zamonja. So if you have seen on the front page of the website, I recently posted the beta version of the optimized build, and that's what we're looking at right here. This is the level 0 optimized version of Outpost Zamonja. It's definitely a lot shorter than the original version, and our goal with these optimized builds is to get them down so that they're just barely over, or on some cases actually under the build limit, so that way you guys even on Xbox can enjoy them. But in order to get these at a good spot, it's taking a lot longer than I anticipated, and I want to make sure that we're headed in the right direction. So some of the more complex designs I'm posting in open beta, and this time, unlike the Jamaica Plain one, I actually posted it up for Xbox users as well. There's a link to the work in progress page so you can favorite it and then download it in your console. So if any of you wants to give this a go and then report back on that link what you thought of it, and if it was better on your performance and everything, I would assume so, because we're getting really close to the build limits, so it should be fairly close to a vanilla designed settlement in that regard. But we definitely use a lot more textures, so that can definitely be have an impact. So anyway, I want to make sure that we're headed in the right direction before we proceed and finish all of the settlements. We've almost knocked down all of the really complicated ones, but we have a lot of less complicated that are going to still need a bunch of work. And speaking of that, if you're interested in helping out with this optimization project, the more people that are involved, the quicker we can knock it out. So really all you have to do is be a PC player who has some time they can commit to the project, and I can teach you what you got to do. It's relatively straightforward. So give me a message on the Sim Settlements forums if you're interested in helping out with this. All right, now let's talk about the last couple of things that are worth mentioning in this patch note video, and that are a couple of new holotape options. Now, I'm showing them in the holotape, but they are available in MCM as well. Be sure you update to the latest version of MCM. There was a new version posted on Friday that will have some support for some features I am using that weren't working prior to this new patch that Nyanka was kind enough to just put up. So let's head into these options. So the first one is something I've been asked for a long time, which is a way to make the settlers stop zombie following you in town meetings. So you can change this to stay, and they will just stand where you started the meeting as opposed to following you around. Now, if you happen to change the setting in the middle of a town meeting, it doesn't change what they're doing. It only affects things if you change the setting before you start the town meeting. But they only last 30 seconds at a time, so it shouldn't be a big deal. All right, and then the next thing to show you is a audio option, because we've added finally some custom music for cinematic mode. And I wanted to do that for a couple of reasons. One is that I wanted SimSettlements to kind of have its own sound. And two is I wanted an option for streamers so that they don't have to worry about copyright strikes. I know a lot of people like to just hurry up and turn off all music to make sure that they're not getting hit. In this case, I promise never to copyright strike you if you use this song in your streaming. But basically, you'll see here under cinematic music, by default, it's going to be on random, which means it'll randomize between the custom SimSettlements music and the main theme song, which you're used to hearing. And if you would like to just use one or the other, you have that option as well. So for those of you who are streaming, you can put it to the custom music only. For those of you who don't like the new song or really prefer the Fallout 4 theme, you can change that as well. And then for those of you who listen to your own music, you can turn it off altogether. So that about covers it for things that are worth mentioning in this patch note video, but definitely check out the actual patch notes to see all of the changes. There were some that I didn't mention, I didn't think were worth showing in here, but are probably important to you. Now, before I sign off, I do want to put a shout out to the recruitment section on our forums. We have a couple of positions we need filled fairly quickly. One is we need another audio engineer. So if you are a sound tech and you can handle things like normalizing, equalizing, mastering audio, all those fun terms, and to help us get our sound quality up, we have a lot of sound work backed up that our team hasn't been able to keep up with, so we can use some more help in that department. And then we could also use another creative writer. So if you're into writing stories and coming up with character backgrounds and fun stuff like that, send me some samples on the simsettlements.com forum, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. All right, guys, as always, take care and enjoy the mod.